Hey everybody, it is Professor Parish, and we are on week 3 of English 109. So I'm recording this as I record it. Week 2 is up actually right now. So if you've not completed the assignments for week 2, there's a discussion forum, there's the thesis outline, and there's the textbook activity, and then the video that talks about those is also on our overview. So we do have, there's 4 assignments this week. It is a little bit more than usual. Next week, you'll notice you get a little bit of a break. We get a little bit less next week, but this week's pretty big. And so I hope that you're able to watch this video early on in the week because I know it's Halloween weekend. Everybody's probably getting plans and getting excited for the holiday season. I know I do. So I want to make sure that we're touching base and making sure we get all of our assignments done in time for Halloween weekend. Don't procrastinate and wait till the weekend because I know what'll happen. You'll have trick-or-treating with your kids, or you'll have plans for parties with friends, or you're going to want to take the weekend off and watch Halloween movies, and then you won't want to do homework because that's how I was in college. So with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about what we're doing this week. So the only reading assignment is to look over chapter 5 in our textbook, which covers pages 121 to 151. And then you have your assignments, the discussion forum, the textbook and grammar review, and then the writing assignment itself. Our cause and effect paper is due this week. We go through papers fairly quickly in this class because we have only 8 weeks to get through everything. So it's a very fast moving class. So let's talk about the discussion forum first. So there is a video that I've got on here. It's kind of a fun discussion. So I've got a link to the video right here. It's basically talking about concert ticket prices. It's John Oliver. He is on HBO. I think some of his stuff is really funny. But he did a video a few years ago about concert ticket prices. It was around the time that the pandemic was starting to go down. People were starting to go back to concerts. And I like going to concerts. So I thought this was a rather interesting video. There's a lot of interesting things. But it's a cause and effect. Basically, the video is a cause and effect in itself, talking about what causes ticket prices to be so high at concerts and what the effects of those are. So it is about 20 minutes long. So it's a funny video. I like it a lot. Give yourself time to watch the video. And then your 3 questions about that video below are: 1, the video talks about concert ticket prices. According to the video, what are the causes of these prices being the way that they are? And the video will give you the answer to that. 2, what have been the effects of these ticket prices being so high? Do you agree with these reasons? Yes or no? And then finally, do you think that Oliver does a good job arguing his conclusion in the video? And explain your answer. Now, Oliver uses humor, and humor is kind of a tricky thing because sometimes people think this stuff is really funny that someone says, and sometimes they don't. So humor is very hit or miss. I think his stuff is funny, but I've had students in the past not think that. So I'll be curious to know kind of your answers and what you all think of that. So you need to post your answer and respond to at least 3 peers by Sunday at 11:59. It should be PM, not AM. So I'm going to go ahead and change that on here for you all because that should be a PM. You've got until the evening, right? Okay. And that'll be saved there. Okay. But that is the discussion forum. Our textbook activities this week, this one is looking at our textbook chapter 5. And so talking about in activity 1, numbers 1 through 10 is unbalanced. So it's helpful to read the sentence out loud, and then you should be able to find the part that doesn't match the rest of the sentence and point it out here for numbers 1 through 10. And then for activity 2, you're going to correct the verb in numbers 1 through 10 as well. So it's a pretty straightforward, easy textbook activity. I think the first part might be the hardest because you'll have to say the sentences out loud. But oftentimes, if you're proofreading your papers, I know that when we write in this class, you can send your stuff to Miss Lane, who is our writing tutor. And her email is just Joanna, JOANNA.Lane, LANE, at sic.edu, and she'll read your papers for you and kind of proofread and give you pointers if you want to use her. She's a free tutoring service that we have on campus. She's a retired English teacher. She knows her stuff. So she'd be a good person to send your papers to. But oftentimes, something that always helped me writing was reading it out loud. Because when I read it out loud, if something wasn't right, my brain would be like, oh, that sounds weird. And it would try to correct it. And then I'd be like, oh, I need to correct this. So there's always that, right? So I'd highly recommend doing that. But also this assignment will kind of give you some practice with that. So that's the grammar activity. Pretty straightforward. The grammar review is as well. We're going over correcting verbs and verb tenses. Just some pretty basic grammar stuff, but before you all go to English 121, I want to make sure everybody's on the same page and knows what to look for. So activity 1 on page 446, you're correcting the verb in the sentence. And then for activity 2, you'll notice that with each number, there's an A, B, and C. So for numbers 1 through 10 in activity 2, you're going to look at the 3 parts of the verb tenses for each sentence. And so you're looking at activity 2 that will be after pages 446 in the textbook. So if it gives you like go, you'll do like goes, gone, went. You'll do the different verb tenses for each of the numbers that they give you. All right. And as always, if you have any questions about the grammar review or the textbook activity, feel free to email me and let me know. And I'm happy to help you out with anything. I'm not going to give you the answer, but I'll help you out if you've got any questions. And then the final activity that is due is the writing assignment number 1, which is your cause and effect paper. And so you do need to turn your paper in as either a rich text format, a PDF, a document, or a Word document. Those are the only types of files that I can use, that I can look at. Unfortunately, I can't open up Mac files, no Google Doc things. If you use Google Docs, all you do is you go to File on Google Docs, go to File. You'll see a little thing when it drops down that will say Download As, and it can download as a PDF or Word document, save to your computer, and you can upload it from there. Easy peasy. If you have questions, I would go to our online learning department and ask them to help, or you can email me as well. But those papers are due by Sunday. You will get a chance to revise, so please make note. Now, PDFs are hard to revise, so I can only give you feedback on those. But if you turn in a paper by Sunday the 30th, you will get a chance to revise it. So if your paper isn't complete, if you don't feel like it's the best it could be, go ahead and turn it in by Sunday, and then you'll get a chance to revise it for a better grade later on in the semester. Okay? If you don't turn anything in, you don't get to revise it. So it's kind of an all or nothing deal. It's one of those, like, you can't turn it in 2 weeks from now and be like, oh, can I still revise? No. So you either need to turn it in by the 30th and you will get a chance to get a higher grade, or you're going to get 0 on it. So make sure that you do that. All right? And so those are the things to do for this week. The English Skill Textbooks chapter is just going over some more writing choices and techniques. We're gonna get into our next paper next week, but those are basically the things to go over for this week. And then, as you all can see, week 4 will have opened up by then, and week 4 is kind of our midterm, which is insane, right? And so it's gonna be talking about the next writing assignment and the midterm exam, which I'll talk about that next weekend. So, as always, if you have questions, please let me know. But otherwise, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe, take care, and yeah, I'll talk to you very soon with more for English 109.